Not ranting and raving this time. Rivest Shamir Adleman RSA. 512 bytes equals 4,096 bits. Or is it qubits? Qubits and bits aren't the same thing. You knew that when you posted that video, didn't you? The handy wave instead of D-wave, or just a hand wave. Decryption keepers. And the bottomless pit where the Antichrist went versus the devil versus Lucifer versus Satan. Can we get our scorecards right here? Come on. Or was it the same thing played over and over again? Resurrecting Anthony Patch's redacted Revelation 9.1 assertions, or 9.1 assertions, or 9/11 assertions that he made. Apparently it was 2016, sometime August. I don't really know. We're going to go down the line. Listing quotes of Geordie Rose, the current Chief Technology Officer, CTO, and founder of D-Wave, proves the CEO of D-Wave is a woo salesman who probably has a philosophy degree. I don't care what other thing he has. He talks up things that are non-technical, so non-technical CEOs will buy stuff and the technicians roll their eyes and walk out. So he doesn't have to deal with anybody pointing out that D-Wave is bullshit. And now let's piss off some non-secular people today. By the way, if you're into, you know, gold standard and cryptocurrency and stuff like that, you're going to love this guy. He's as full of shit as that is. But let's move on. Quoting the CEO of D-Wave, normally quoting a CEO or Chief Technology Officer would be useful until you hear this guy. What he's appealing to is salesmanship 101. He appeals to feels. The quotations of this guy are bordering on lunatic evidence. I don't care to hear it. I'm not commenting any further. You can go listen to him. Just look up the quotes of Geordie Rose and D-Wave. None of them have any substance. Shopping is a feeling. So let's get on with the next one. CERN's Large Hadron Collider must be a dimensional porter because 20 peta-electron volts equals terror. It's a portal to something. It looks like it. So does the magnetic coil on the back of an old TV set. But anyway, so it's the power of two insects hitting each other at full speed, 10 miles an hour, packed into a single neutron. Yes, packing macroscopic energy levels into a single, well actually it's the neutrons from an iron atom, but packing it into a bunch of iron atom core material. You ionize iron. But anyway, packing it into hadrons and ramming them together inside of one of the biggest, most power-hungry machines on the planet still gets you bupkis as far as energy production or effect on time-space. It isn't affecting time-space on a macroscopic level, and on a sub-microscopic, subatomic level, it's not affecting time-space to open a warp in time-space. And I'm going to say this. You not wanting to hear that doesn't change it being a fact. If you can't get it through your thick skull that CERN is not able to open a can of worms or a can of beans and get a fart out of it, I'm sorry, but it isn't. And then the assertion he makes in his Anthony Patch's listing here. This is Anthony Patch's bullshit pile. It's a gish gallop with a dollop of whipped cream on top for specific purposes. He links this over to D-Wave because D-Wave must actually be a quantum tunnel trigger. Because the people running D-Wave don't lie about it being quantum based. Anyway, let's go on. It's some woo-how connected. Next, assertion. The key to Satan or the Antichrist or whatever. He mixes it up because he doesn't want to do the exact quote. The coded information. Coded information. This is special chosen one pleading, as I like to call it. I'm able to see this even though scholars for the last 2,000 years have not figured out this wonderful, amazing revelation, pun intended, that he's giving. Because he's not a pretender claiming to be some modern prophet. Of course he is. But it's coded information. You wouldn't understand. But I'm going to explain it to your ignorant butt. So here we go. The same as a key comprising of bits. Some reason it has to be bit-based. Required to break a coded message. No, it's not a coded message. The key that's referred to in the Bible is a physical, literal key to a physical, literal pit. I'm going to read it, because apparently he didn't read it. Cryptography ignorance is a magic hand wave. Any science that's modern and sufficiently advanced, any technology, is indistinguishable from magic. Especially if you refuse to look up definitions for words. Let's go there. D-wave's adiabatic quantum computer, because he wanted to use something that was trending that week, must equal 4096 because, and let's do the wheel of stupid, the model number is the number of qubits in a computer. And every computer that had a 386 processor in it must be model number 386 something. A lot of them were, but it doesn't. And by the way, the model number for that particular computer is the number 2 or the number 1. That's actually something they were criticized for, because they were meaningless model numbers. They only have 2 computers, essentially. It's the Model 1 with 4096 qubits, it says. Okay. Or Anthony Planch claimed it's the model number when it's not. That's actually the answer, by the way. His assertion is not relevant. And it's also wrong. The 4096 qubits, which is 4 times 1024, which is 2 to the 14th power, superconductor junctions. They're not quantum computer qubits, they're superconductor junctions. Fit nicely on a silicon wafer. They were going to use them. That's why they did it. Their main concern when they build these things is heat reduction down to literally almost absolute zero. And they just wanted to make it a square-shaped chip. So that happened to work out on the plan for making that thing with all the other gates and sensors and trigger circuits on it. They synthesized the chip with a large number of junctions. They're not qubits, they're junctions. And they're not even junctions. They're simulating qubits, because the D-wave computer is not a quantum computer. It simulates one. The same way you can on a cell phone. Look up quantum computer simulator. Or someone pointed out this in the news at the time, that a quantum computer, specifically referencing the D-wave, should be able to factor a 4096-bit long encryption key within the heat death age of the universe of trillions of years. Someone brought up the number 4096 coincidentally, and it showed up in search engine ranking. It peaked. So he used that number and said, that's the key to CERN's portal to hell, because Revelation 9:1, which I'm going to get to. Anyway, and another assertion is that the D-wave is operating at 2 to the 4,000th power times 4096 dimensions. That literally is just somebody's posting somewhere that they were doing just to be weird. Doesn't mean anything. The number of dimensions in the universe that we're able to extrapolate, understand, and have to comprehend to do anything beyond messing with atomic warheads and maybe making neutron beams and shit requires that we understand around 15 to 25 dimensions if we want to understand it completely, to be able to create a unified field theory. Or we could just cheat and go to quantum physics and string theory to try to figure it out. That's looking at it from the outside. Or we should assume an infinite number of dimensions and give up, which is what that one is about. Or how many dimensions do you actually have to understand to modify gravity? We don't know. We just know that they're related to each other. None of this indicates that the D-wave is operating in multiple dimensions, because it's not. The woo peddler that runs the place should shut his freaking mouth and should be defunded. Why is he getting funding from NASA? Why is he getting funding from Google? And why do you think that adds to his credibility? You're the people who say that NASA is never a straight answer and they faked a moon landing. But suddenly if they put money into something, that's real. It's not at all. Anyway. is all of this based on the meme that Christ's name is actually, and the Antichrist's name is actually Apollo, Zeus, or Satan, or your mom? Now, I meant that literally. Saying that some other religions lead or head God, like Apollo, Zeus, or whatever, is Satan or the Antichrist, is a way of saying that your God is evil. That's all it means. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. There's no coded language that says, oh yes, there is. Yes, the Christian Bible does a bunch of shade against other religions. Not in name, maybe. So did they. It's called salesmanship. They're doing negative campaigning so you won't vote for Zeus. What about the spaghetti monster? We admit he's a monster. What about the turtles all the way down? Nobody talks about the elephants. My bullshit meme's better than yours. That's an example of salesmanship, old school salesmanship. And the tough sell was launching a war against your religion and killing everybody. Can we not go backwards? No, Satan is just Satan. Lucifer is just Lucifer. Or is it Louis Cypher? Or is it Lucy? The salesman. First salesman. Anyway. Quantum computers can't solve hard search problems instantaneously just by trying to find all the possible solutions at once and then presenting them. You still have to go through the nearly infinite number of solutions. So said some guy named Scott Aronson, or is that Arson? Dun dun dun. And then he brings up the Mandela effect, and I'm skipping the bullshit because this is literally a non-falsifiable, non-provable statement. And also, he's appealing to the woo-freelers out there. Well, things aren't the way I think they should be. The sun should be yellow. Therefore, Mandela effect. No, you're just wrong, and you're getting old, and you need to take your freaking, Metamucil or whatever. Plain English Aramaic Bible. Oh, you knew I was going to do it. Revelation 9:1. Aramaic translation as simple without adding in crap as possible, with the least amount of assumptions and the most faith in reproducing it without bullshit. And I don't even know if this is accurate, but it agrees with all the others. You see, I'm using consensus, concordance, Bible terms. The fifth sounded. I'm assuming it's a trumpet instead of a pizza parlor fart. I saw a star that fell from the sky to the earth. This is a person saying, I saw a star fall. The key of the pit of the abyss was given to this star. Now this could be interpreted as someone saw a star fall and figured out it was an angel and gave them the key. Who gave them the key to the pit? Or someone threw the key into a burning pile of material on the ground after a meteorite strike. Or meteor. A very meaty ore. Or it was the one ring thrown into the... Anyway, next thing. Plain English Aramaic Bible again. Revelation 20:1. 20-1 or whatever. I saw another angel from heaven who had the key of the abyss in his hand, and a great chain, seized the dragon, the ancient serpent, the devil, and Satan, and cast them all into the abyss and locked them away. Satan doesn't have the key, nor does CERN. Read your Bible. If the angel grabs Satan and throws him in the abyss, and the key to the abyss is held by an angel and not Satan, what evil demon would be dressing up as an angel to throw Satan into the abyss? How about a false religion? Or how about misinterpreting it? Did you know that the older version of the Bible actually includes a statement that this book will be misinterpreted and misused and misquoted? You all ignore that shit, don't you? The presumption that this key has to be a binary code used by some quantum computer to trigger it opening up a portal using a piece of machinery that produces enough energy output to equal 2 mosquitoes hitting each other at full speed doesn't compute at all. And now that you have all these explanations and data, go read the links below, and please, please don't ask me this again. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And yeah, Anthony Patch is an idiot. Goodbye.